Hello, good afternoon. It's Monday. I hope you're having a great day, and it's beginning to clear up out there. So, anyways, I want to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is, as an entrepreneur, have you ever asked yourself, is this company going to make it? I know I certainly have. So I want to talk about that because a lot of companies need the basics. I mean, most of them have the basics of a solid business model, valuable, viable market, and they have a good business product or service. But one of the most important things or a good indicator of success is, does the entrepreneur have what it takes? And there are no cookie cutter templates that you can say, okay, this guy yes, this guy or gal no. You can have a 25-year-old with no experience that's a huge success, or you can have a 45-year-old serial entrepreneur that doesn't make it or is successful. It just there's no rhyme or reason that you can say yes, they will or won't make it. However, there are some commonalities between those whose company makes it and is successful and those who don't. So a couple of points that I have written down based on my experience as an entrepreneur and working for many small businesses. Number one, always be flexible in your business goals and in your personal flexibility. You need to be able to pivot easily, and now is a perfect example with COVID-19 of how true that is. You have to be able to adjust to those new circumstances and willing to alter your startup dream for the reality of what really can and can't sell. So that's like a biggie. And can you take, I think that you should need to be able to take an idea that starts as a great idea and it morphs into 1, 2, or 3 times a better version. And I know that, there's so many examples of failures and that it's not really a failure. It's just like version 1, 2, or 3. So that is all part of that flexibility. And I have a client that she's a high-end wedding planner. And then with what's happened, obviously her business has come to a screeching halt, one would think. But she very quickly pivoted. And what she did is she created high-end weddings for small environments, for small, under 50 guests, and she's doing okay. At least, probably not as well as, the huge wedding, but she's definitely making it through this tough time. And that was her ability to pivot, to be flexible and not just get scared. Number 2, this is a big passion of mine. Hire for work ethic, not just intellect. And, hiring smarter is good advice. But leaders also hire those that work hard and are willing to work harder than the entrepreneur themselves. So the entrepreneur usually is the first to arrive and the last to leave. You need to hire somebody that's going to match that passion. I have a couple of clients that they're always saying, I need to hire more people. I don't have enough people. And they end up hiring too many. And the reason is because they're hiring at this level instead of hiring this level of work ethic. And I would tend to agree without talking about any generation, but I know that my generation, or at least I was taught, you know, you work hard and it pays off. Well, it's a little bit more difficult. I have seen that. It's a little more difficult to hire for that work ethic, but it is possible. And I do have a whole list of ways to find talent. So if anybody wants that, let me know. I'm happy to share that with you. Let's say the third thing, entrepreneurs need to know thyself. So most people have heard of a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You need to do that on yourself. You need to know your strengths and weaknesses. And you can then fill in those blanks. So again, I have a client, it's a partnership, and one of them is extremely fast talker, just quick to make decisions, which is a great trait. However, the other one is much more pensive and cautious, and they balance each other out. So even if you don't have a partner in your business, it will definitely help to know those strengths and weaknesses and know who and how you can fill in those blanks, because we just can't be everything to everybody. Number 4, willingness to restructure the team. Now this can be, it's not generally right from the get-go, but what it takes to run a business of 10 to 100,000, let's say, as you're starting out, is way different than hundreds of thousands or into the millions. So as your company grows, you need to be able to restructure and look at things that need changing. And this is uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable and can cause a lot of problems internally, but it's necessary. It is necessary. So be willing to restructure your team. Number 5, trust the customer. And this kind of goes back to the customer's always right. That maybe is a little bit drastic of a statement. However, you got to trust the customer. If they say they don't like something, you know, they're not the only ones that probably don't like something. Listen to customer feedback, even if it's negative. It leads to action, and be willing to take that action. Entrepreneurs should either fix a product or rethink the target market. So again, part of the flexibility, be willing to be flexible, change things up, and the customer's who's going to pay for that service or that product. So listen to them. And then this is another big one of mine. You need to have a almost delusional passion for what you do, and it can't be driven by money. You just have to be driven by this passion to create, to improve something, to provide a service, and you won't quit. So because you have this passion, you're not going to quit. You're going to take feedback and be flexible, but you can't let this hinder that drive to create and continue to grow and change. So in summary, the 6 points are: be flexible, hire for work ethic, know thyself, willingness to restructure, trust the customer, and have a slightly delusional passion. So I hope that this was helpful to someone. If you know of anybody that it might be helpful to, please share, and if you are interested in the things I mentioned, the creative and innovative ways to find talent. It's like, I think it's 37 ways to find talent and get creative in how you do that. I'm happy to send that. And then the other thing I have are traits of an entrepreneur. So if you would like either one of these or both of them, please just put in small business in a message to me, and I'm happy to send that to you. No strings, free of charge. And I hope you have a great Monday, and we will talk again. Bye.